Welcome to my kitchen, I'm your host Dallas. Even though I align my main with a night fae, I'm always very interested to see what other covenants have to offer. Now, being the player of an edgy demon hunter, I obviously had to check what the edgiest of the covenants had to provide. The Venthyr. In Pridefall Hamlet, I found a lovely guy named Slapchop. Among chucks, chews and stews, he was selling Pridefall Borscht. As soon as I saw this, the decision was made. I was going to cook borscht. That is because some of my ancestors originate from a region where borscht is a traditional recipe. Once all the cooking and filming was completed, I was really excited to find the second official World of Warcraft cookbook in my mail. And guess what? There's also a Pridefall Borscht recipe in there. The recipe in the book is quite different from what I just cooked, so I did my due diligence. Chelsea Monroe Castle uses kefir in her recipe, which I first found unusual for a borscht recipe, but indeed there exist borscht variations using kefir. I want to stick to a more traditional borscht recipe, specifically avoiding garlic, because those Venthyr girls and boys don't seem to like it. We will start preparing a broth using 2 cross-cut veal shanks. Place both in a large pot, add 2 bay leaves and 2 peeled onions. Fill with 4 liters of cold water, bring to boil and let simmer for 2 hours. This gives me time to ask, did you buy the new Warcraft cookbook as well, and how do you like it? Tell me in the comments about your favorite recipe. Set the meat aside and remove the onions. Cut or shred the meat and set aside. For our Pridefall Borscht, we also need some vegetables. Peel and grate 2 carrots using a food processor. Before I work with the beetroot, I want to protect my cutting board a bit, so I used a sheet of baking paper to prevent it from getting stains. Cabbage is another important part of our Pridefall Borscht. I only needed about 400 grams, which left me with a whole lot of cabbage I wouldn't use for this recipe, so I figured I would give the rest to my grandmother. Shred the cabbage. Again, a food processor makes light work of this. Peel and cut the potatoes into thick slices. Bring the broth to boil and cook the potatoes and cabbage for about 15 minutes. In a pan, melt a healthy amount of butter and saute the carrots and beetroot for about 10 minutes. Add the vinegar, tomato paste and sugar and saute for another 10 minutes. Carefully transfer the beetroot and meat into the broth, season with salt, pepper and majoram and cook for another 5 minutes. A scoop of smetana goes very well with our Pridefall Borscht. If you liked today's video, please like, comment and subscribe. I'll be back with another recipe. And guess what? There's also a Prideful Borscht recipe. Welcome.